With GTA Online's last couple of updates not being the most exciting, and you probably still looking to get yourself the GTA 5 fix while waiting a cool 7.5 months until GTA 6 finally comes out, there are other opportunities out there for you to still enjoy the game that you might still love, but in a little bit of a different coat of paint. This is where something like RP comes into play, and in this guide I'll be showing you how you can get started with today's sponsor, GrandRP. Link is in the description if you want to sign up and get some bonuses. Let's get right into it. First and foremost, of course, is you needing to get yourself your very own GrandRP account. Doing so will require you to use a name and a last name, which you should probably not use your actual name for, but instead come up with something creative. Or not, that's entirely up to you. Just prevent using your actual name for obvious reasons. Use an email that actually functions so you can register your account, and off you go to download the GrandRP launcher. Once that's all is downloaded and you selected the server that you want to be in, you can then launch yourself into the server and make your very own character. Obviously, this is the most important part of the entire game, because this will be how everyone will be seeing you, unless you decide to wear a mask to this, but sometimes in certain cases that is probably a better thing too. With that out of the way, you then want to make your way outside of the hotel, where you'll be greeted with the very first questline for beginners. In this, as you can clearly see, there's a bunch of rewards waiting for you for completing the quest, so let's go and do that right away. First up, you want to make your way towards this lady, where you'll be able to grab yourself your very own rental scooter. Don't worry, this is not going to be your primary vehicle for the remainder of your playtime here, as this is really just here to make sure that you can get to your first job, and as we get on with the quest, you'll unlock more and better goodies. Once you're on your fancy new scooter, you then want to make your way to the power plant and get employed as an electrician. This is very straightforward. Simply walk into the yellow circle and then get employed. Your task here is to go to 4 different locations inside of the power plant and then hold the E button. There you will be able to start doing your electrician things, and you will then be able to earn just a little bit of money. Once you hit $100, you can then decide to leave again if you wish to do so, or continue on with your electrician job if you like what you're doing. Having said that, the next step for the beginner's quest is to make your way to the post office, but before you do that, you of course want to grab yourself a scooter again so you can get there without having to walk everywhere. Once you're at the post office, you can decide to either go into the post office, or you can look at this fancy machine where you're like, wow, I love gambling, let me try this. But unfortunately at this point, you probably don't have the $25,000 to do this, so maybe if you really like the cute bear there that you might want to try to get, you have to come back at some other time. Inside of the post office though, who will then give you $500 so you can make your way to the next part of the quest, which is the driving school. Yes, because as some of you might know, if you play GTA Online for a while, you know that some of you definitely could use a couple of driving lessons. Naturally, once you're there, I will guide you through the process. First up, you want to make sure that you don't do an excessive amount of curb boosting like I'm doing. Then, you want to make sure that you don't miss the checkpoints, which I definitely didn't do multiple times. And especially, it is also a very good idea to not do the driving school from GTA San Andreas where they teach you about pit maneuvers, because pit maneuvers are illegal. Now luckily this is just a driving test, and no one got upset with me about it, I think. Anyways, once you've successfully gone through all the checkpoints and you have successfully done the driver's test that definitely didn't turn out to be a race for me at some point, you can then take your brand new supercar, which you can temporarily use to make your way to the farm. In the farm, you... The farmer's job is once again very straightforward. You get some water and you start watering the yellow arrows in the area. It is worth noting that every single one of the jobs inside of GrandRP have a dedicated progression system to them. This is pretty grindy. As far as I'm aware, you need to do about 500 of these until you are able to actually progress to the next level, start earning more money, and a bunch of other bonuses that are attached to them. So yeah, if you're looking for a server that you can spend a lot of time grinding things on, then this will be one of those servers for you. From there, you once again want to follow where the game is telling you to go, but while you're going there, you're probably gonna go through the red zone, which is basically GrandRP's PvP area where anyone can just shoot each other if they wish to do so. This is predominantly a gang-controlled area, so do be careful with the way that you look at certain folks or what type of color of clothing that you are wearing. More about that sort of stuff in a little bit. Once you arrive to the jewel buyer, you'll be able to see that you can get a particular price per piece. However, there is a 20% bonus if you play for 3 hours, so I guess spend some time in the video game to get more money from the video game. And once you successfully checked out how much everything is worth and what to probably shoot for, you can then open a case. Yes, that is one of the several ways of how you can spend your actual money inside of GrandRP. For full transparency's sake, and also to give you the conversion rate of how much 1 grand coin is to actual dollars, it's 1-to-1. So if you want to get the battle pass, you can probably do your own maths to see how much that is all going to cost. There is a variety of different ways of how you could spend your actual money and swipe the credit card if you wish to do so. Obviously, most if not all things are earnable within the game, but they are going to be taking quite a bit longer than you just swiping the credit card if you choose to do so. I'm simply including this bit to be fully transparent about what the server is, but I think by this point most of you will have understood what it is like. Luckily though, the next step requires you to go to the parking lot, which will then give you an actual car that goes faster than the red loader for an entire week, allowing you to invest some time and also make your own money so you can kind of get there if you want to do so. Continuing on with the rest of the beginner's quest will allow you to also join something called a family. These are basically the gangs within the game, allowing you to participate in a wide array of other activities such as bank robberies and a whole heap of other things, including but not limited to monthly events that will actually allow you to earn some bonuses with said family, even going as far as tournaments. There's a lot of really cool things inside of GrandRP with these families, so if you're looking to start playing and getting involved with the family, it is definitely something that is worth looking into. And in the final bit of the beginner's quest, you're tasked to go to the market and then check out one of the shops. Doing so will give you the final completion needed for the beginner's quest to give you 4 grand coins, a couple of days of prime, and this fancy scooter that you can then start using whenever you feel like and just simply pop it open from your inventory, meaning that you'll never ever have to walk anywhere again, which is very useful if you ever get stranded, which is cool. And that is how you get started in GrandRP. Thank you for watching.